pull it up on your phones if you so you can see it. So take out some of the right way, some of the right on. I want to give you a chance to try this stuff today on your own, kind of in just a relaxed spot. When we're done, we'll talk about them. And then I've just got some extra info for you about what's coming over these next couple of weeks. Not just in this class, but kind of just in general. And some things that I need to make sure, especially in Algebra 2, that I say so that we know that we're good. So this will take maybe a half hour, and then we'll spend the last 20 minutes or so just kind of getting some things all laid out. But I'm going to pull it up right here. Okay, it's called Classwork 4.2. So we did 4.1 a couple days ago. Now, wherever you want to write this is up to you. If you just want to kind of like continue in your notes and just jot these down now, you want to make sure you jot down the problem first and then your answer. And it's do the best you can. And if you get stuck, ask questions. And it could be a question for me. It could be a question for the people around you that you feel comfortable talking to. This is not graded for correctness at all. This is definitely just give it a shot. Look back as you go in case you want a refresher on what we've done these last couple of days and see if you can do it. 9 and 10 we didn't talk about yesterday. That was like 2 or 3 days ago. So you might want to look back at what that property number 5 is. But just a kind of a relaxed work day to give you a chance to try this stuff out where do the best you can and you're going to get full credit for it. Eventually, you'll go on to Canvas today, like it's due today, and go to Classwork 4.2, which is sitting under assignments or right under modules. It'll be right at the top. So Classwork 4.2. 10 problems, at least like 20 minutes. You have plenty of time to work through it, so you have time to write it down, think about it, look back at stuff from yesterday or the day before, and see what you know, see what you're comfortable with. And then we'll go over all of them. We'll talk them all through. You'll kind of grade yourself as you go and correct any mistakes that you might make. Put it on Canvas before the corrections or after, that's cool. And talk it out. Or put some headphones in, tune the world out for 20 minutes or so. If that's what's going to help you work a little better, that's cool too. Ask questions of me, ask questions of each other, whatever works. Okay, so it's like 1:15 now. So definitely by like 1:45, I'd like to stop talking about math and kind of talk about some other things that are coming up. Just make sure that we're all on the same page with here we are in the fourth quarter, some things that are coming up. So, yes, sir.
Are we going over these later?
Absolutely, today, definitely. We're definitely going to talk about all 10 of these, make sure we're good. But try your best that you can now, knowing that next week we'll be done with all this. Like tomorrow we'll just kind of wrap up the last property, get some practice in, and next week we'll come those quizzes. One for effort completion, one for correctness, and then even by like Thursday next week, we'll flip things and we'll get to section 2 and do something different. Still exponent, still based on exponent stuff, but no more properties. Maybe we'll get into functions. All right, time is yours. I'm gonna stop talking and let you work. But talk to each other, talk to me, talk to yourself if you're like me when you're doing math. Talk to yourself a lot. Did you do this yesterday? Yeah. What did you do with my brand new pension sharpen? Unbelievable. Always unbelievable. Yes. Even if not, I should have some regular size ones. Carson, what's up? Math question? Or
Yeah, math question.
go ahead, shoot.
I would say for like number 5.
Yeah.
It's got 5x minus 8. What am I going to do with that 5 on the outside?
So is that 5 being raised to a negative power? So that 5 can't move. And if you think of it like this, move what you're supposed to, and don't move what should.
Yeah.
Is it like the same as the 5? I don't really.
You like really?
I don't really like
Okay. So ask me a question that maybe I can clarify.
Like all the bigger numbers on the bottom.
Okay. So number 4 is actually a really good. Like it kind of relates back. Come back to this for a second. It's one of these kind of situations where if I'm dealing with a fraction, I want to kind of ask myself, right? There's bigger numbers at the bottom. What? It's even the 7th, right? And so if I just subtract that, well, how many get negative? That's not good. It's like negative all over. And so it's really kind of looking at this example is just got a number in front of a number in front of all, but it's all right, fine. I'll just bring the numbers.
So don't wait.
But it's really a question of where do I have more of them? Down bottom. And that's where it's going to end up. The only spot that there's going to be a C is going to be a 5. And then just how many more figure out this 2 or this. This one right here is just after. If there's a number sitting in all variables, if it's on top, say it's on top, it's on bottom. Yes. What? We're playing the penis game. Is that really what's happening? Is that how old we are in high school? We're playing the penis game in math class? You win. Or do you lose? I forget. Does Brendan win or does you said it last, but I heard it. That was the first time I heard it. So did Brendan win it because he said it the loudest that I didn't hear? Or you said it the loudest? I didn't hear Brendan say it, no.
Oh, whoever said the loudest?
I thought it was whoever said it the loudest ones.
No, the penis.
I can't believe I made him say it. Got him to do it. That's amazing. So what do you think? So the 3 and the 2, those numbers in front, do they, like, does anything happen with them?
No.
Okay. Now the C's we want to put together. And when we talk about having like more than one of each variable, I just want to get down to one. I want one variable with one exponent. And where does that go? Top or bottom?
Bottom. There you go.
Done.
Okay. That makes sense.
Hey Rosie, who runs the state gang page for Instagram?
Me sometimes, and Genevieve does.
Becca has a cornhole tournament coming up. They want to promote it to as many places.
Cool. You just send it to me or send it to Genevieve?
Yeah, I'll just send it over an email to you. We have the form of what it's gonna look like and everything. We're gonna say,
You want me?
could you do a post? That'd be great. I can send you that information also. For that one, we are still gathering specifics right now, but it's April 7th as of right now. So it's gonna be same format. If I go.
Send it out as often as
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna send you an official
We're always
email.
looking for content, so just, yeah,
Okay.
send me
I'll
whatever
send
you
you
want.
an official.
Colton, do something.
Okay.
Thank you. So the only thing I have to worry about is negative exponents. I don't like multiple exponents together. I really just have to take care of rewriting that so it doesn't have a negative. And we saw yesterday, when we have a negative exponent, it's kind of like clue that that x, the base of that.
So I'm gonna move it down. So it's gonna be 5 over x.
Hey, let's find out. Being raised to a negative, then it moves. Because the thing that's like right below that negative is just the x. 5 is down. It's like number 12 from yesterday. Here, and you can see that I was kind of far away, but 3x to the negative 4th. 3 stays on top, and the x to the 4th went down the bottom. Because the 3 is, it's like 3 times x to the 4th. Like, they're two different things being multiplied together. And the only thing that can move from top to bottom or bottom to top is something that has a negative exponent. In that case, 3. In this case, 5. It's just the number. There's no negative exponent attached to it. So it's going to stay wherever it is. Keep the 5 on. Yeah. Sure.
I think I got to see it now.
Nice. Now, yeah. Okay. So that's the one.
The numbers there on the bottom, does that matter?
When you're talking about numbers being bigger, that's properties of exponents. These are just numbers. Nothing changes about them because I can't simplify that fraction. So you have a coefficient of 2 on top, and then whatever variables happen to be up there. Coefficient of 5 on the bottom, and then whatever numbers happen to be down.
So just leave the 5 right there.
Leave the 5 just like that. Yep. Now, if that was, let's see, like if it wasn't 2 and 5, but if it was like, I don't know, like 3, blah, 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 and then 6, blah, 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 that could be 1/2. And I can simplify the fraction just as a fraction. But 2/5 is as simple as that gets. So we just leave the 2 on top, 5 on bottom.
So I'm just thinking about how the problem having to travel.
Okay. So with 4, I don't get into the whole exponent.
Yo, what's up, cars?
Yo.
Yo, Log says, what's up?
Times 3. Is that the PC? Times 3. 3 times 3 is 9.
No, come back.
Huh? Can you hear me? Log said, what's up?
What's up?
Speakers over here.
Over there? Hey, Luke, how's Valorant?
Now, like, okay, so I'm going to take care of.
Yo, I can't be getting in trouble. Do your work, brother.
Roger, I think I solved this. 11.
Wait, Rosie, does it do like this?
There's a great subreddit called Constantly Incorrect. And that was
Is it like that?
Okay, so 3/2 is definitely 1.5. But decimals, mixed fractions, so usually what I'll do is I'll just think about the fraction and see if there's anything I can do to simplify it. Like if it was 3/6, okay, I'd call that like 1/2, or 6/8, okay, I'll call that 3/4, and then let's kind of keep going with it. But 3/2 is as simple as that fraction can get. So the 3 is just going to stay on top, and the 2 is just going to stay on bottom, and I'll see what happens from there. And kind of in my mind, I'm like, okay, numbers done. Numbers first, then A's and B's and C's. It's kind of in alphabetical order. Okay, so now I just have to worry about that. In my mind, this is taken care of. Okay, so I've got a fraction, and I've got C's in both places. And that's where yesterday comes in. Where we talked about, and even kind of the day before, that if I have a fraction, and I've got variables with the same letter, they're in 2 different spots. I want to put them together, however I can. And when they're in like some on top and some on bottom, the questions are 2 questions. Where do I have more of them? So answer that one first. Where do you have more C's? So that's where that C is going to end up. The 1 C that's going to be left. Then the second question, how many more? There's your exponent.
That's the answer?
Go.
Can you check these two?
Okay. That makes sense.
Now, again, if like the 3/2 was something I could do something with, then I would. But really, I'm focusing on this is exponential functions in this chapter. Because you can see, like, I made like one fraction. I'm trying to just do one. I can make one big long fraction, whatever it is, rather than saying, and, I mean, it's true, I'm not going to write it, but like this is 3/2 times 1/c squared, right? Where I kind of like break things apart and deal with them separately. That's just what I do in my mind. When I write it down, I put them all on.
Alright. So I think 8, 12, X, 10.
Oh yeah. Good. Yeah, we're good. Like,
Go!
I think I did this one around.
Eight.
Kind of like, you know how you just like only negative at first.
Right. And so I think that that's a really good thing for you to do first.
Okay.
Is to like to do 8 in 2 steps rather than just trying to put everything together all at
Did I
once.
do it wrong enough? Did you check it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it has a negative exponent, move it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, don't. You're gonna have numbers and x's and y's and z's kind of all over the place in this first step. Then put them together one by one.
Hey, Mr. Rosie.
That's it. 1 second. Seeing it like that, I think is gonna help you get yourself to the right answer. Now, I don't have like a bunch of x's and a bunch of numbers and a bunch of. I really only have like a single number and a single x. Problem is, it's raised at negative exponent. I just can't leave it like that. Just the x is being raised at negative 8. So just the x is going to move. Remember, negative exponents is my clue that that x is in the wrong spot. So the 5 is really on top of this fraction, right? Is the 5 being raised to a negative power? No. Then it doesn't move. Hold on. 5's done, right? Okay. X to the negative 8. Is this supposed to be up top? No, it's got a negative exponent. Let's move it to the bottom. But what's the new exponent now that we've made the switch? It was negative 8. I didn't like it.
There we go.
Something.
Hey, thanks, Rosie.
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
so I was looking at 9, right? And then I have 2
Yeah.
options. I can't really say them out loud, obviously. So I don't know if you could. So hold on. I don't know how to show this, but like, can you see that?
I see that.
So
Yeah.
the answer is either this. Hold on, I need to point to it. It's either that
Yeah.
or the X. And I don't know which one it would be.
Let me help you out. It's neither.
Okay, thank you.
It's 1. You're
Luke,
welcome.
you're a legend. Oh, that's funny.
Yep. When it's the number raised to a power, we just do it. Root of the point. I put my calculator because that number gets raised pretty fast.
Okay, so now that I did that, wait.
Oh, there it is. Good. You make that switch, make it pop. Okay. Now, one by one.
But I'm confused about like how they're letting me.
Okay. So it's not like they're in different parts of the fraction.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do this whole where do I have more and how many more have I? They're just right next to each other. Just like these. Shut up. Take the next, I don't know, 5, maybe 10. See if you can finish up. Sure. You got the right idea that everything inside is going to be raised to the 4th power, including the 3. 3 to the 4th, this to the 4th, to do that. This to the 4th, to do that. And what's that number on top of that C? Now what you want 3 to the 4th to the front.
You know what I mean?
That's 3 times 2.
There's just three.
That's 3 times 1. I want to do 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. I want to multiply.
Oh, okay.
No, close. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So we can do it in our heads. Here's the tough one. 27 times 3.
Oh, I've done all of them, but none of them.
27 times 3. I'm going to make this so much easier. What's 20 times 3? What's 7 times 3?
Oh.
Put them
Look at
together.
the little tricks that
I'm
Matt
not
has.
really a fan.
So much easier.
For number 8, so this is what I have set up for. But this because so when I play so the X on top because this has more. So that one on top. I get Y on bottom because Y has more.
It does negative 3.
Is that part of those numbers?
Okay. Alright. See that I didn't understand. I set it up as 5 minus 3 and I got 2.
Yeah, it's really
How many
5 minus.
almost thinking of it like as a number. Okay. And then so C has how would you consider this? Would this be more or would this be less?
Really? Uh-uh.
Number line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
The top is more.
More is this way. Less is this way. So negative 5 over here is more than negative.
Okay, so then what would I put? Would I put 3 as a difference?
And here's what you can do to help you there.
I didn't do
You've got a negative exponent. Before you put anything together, make the switch. Like x squared was good, stay up there. X to the negative 5, not good. It's not supposed to be in the bottom. Right? That's my clue, it's in the wrong spot. Make the move, put it on top. Get more positive. Oh, you can literally just do it right now. Just put them together. Instead of worrying about the negatives, like as you're adding, subtracting.
Oh, no, I don't wait this up. That's what I'm like, why is internet out of the state? That's what my book is about. Like, why does everything have to relate to the book like that?
Crazy as number 10 looks. What it really means is like all of this divided by 10. Right? Because if you, I don't know if you remember, but like this idea yesterday or 2 days ago came from like that. So this is all of this divided by 10. I don't like that thing. You're gonna love me because I love you. Good.
Yo, Carson.
Well, answer number 9. And then
Carson.
Okay, then I
Is 10-1?
we talked about this yesterday.
Is number 10-1?
Here's property number 5. If you're
No,
stuck
is number
on 9 and 10,
1?
back at property number 5. Property number 5 from 2 days ago.
I don't think so.
What's up, Luke? Or Liam? Is that Liam talking now?
So is number 10 also 1? I don't want to like say it out loud, but like.
But you just did it anyway.
Yeah, no. I asked the question. You should just text
Say something out loud.
Mr. Rosie. Text in the chat to answer. Or-
Right, everybody on the phone.
You should put it on a piece of paper and then show it to the camera.
Slide it in all gentle like.
Yeah. I knew it.
Maybe 5 more minutes if you still need them. So if you are, I don't know, like still on like 6, 7, time to go.
So then wait, Rosie, I have another question.
All right, I'm ready. Did you look back at
Yes,
property
I
number
did,
5?
and I answered number 9.
Okay. So what'd you get?
I don't want to share it to class.
Okay.
You know, just get him on.
Everybody's being real secretive of the answers on a day where I'm saying to talk to each other.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Okay, good.
I wrote it there.
Okay.
It would just be exactly.
Oh, God. I'm trying to do my laundry on one. Oh, my.
gotta get that dirty underwear out, man.
What?
You gotta get that dirty underwear out of the laundry, man.
You're not gonna put it in the laundry, that's the problem.
Just wear it again. It's fine.
I don't know what
Yeah,
you mean, I'm so
Dude,
confused.
your stuff is so hot, man.
It'll taste like a slim pie.
Like,
Hot, warm dog water. Silly.
oh my
I heard Sunday Claire was breastfeeding the one without the Parker Road.
Yeah, it was terrible, and I was on the headset. Did you just call it Lido?
So some lady gets injected, I get the Lido.
Whoa.
Like, what? Hey, goes, what's that?
Okay, I got the.
It's crazy, right?
I know, it's like, how could that possibly be right? It is.
Okay, I get it.
Yep.
Oh, we didn't have to. And you can subtract, but the problem is you got to look.
You're like creating a second problem for yourself. Like anytime I've got practice that has like the top way and bottom, or next on top, put them in the right spot right away. Like this, right?
Yeah, and 8 and 8. And then what's 3 times 4?
Five on top, 2 on the bottom. More on
3, 6,
top.
yes, then 3 into 12. And then E times 4 would be.
So don't do the
Remember
subtraction.
the next one? What is
It's a great
it? Is, okay, what has more, the top or the bottom for A?
Bottom, right?
Okay, so right A
And then I
on
have
the
to deal
bottom.
with the name. And I have to like move it
And then
around.
how many more does it show?
And it might take you 2 steps to do something that.
Well, why?
What number is it? I rather,
So
no,
nice
yeah.
is that shortcut is when I divide, I subtract.
Wait, what number are we looking at?
7.
There might be a faster.
Oh, it has 6 more. This is what happens now. Why is it held dark?
Look at your age.
No, it's 8 on the bottom. And then what has more? The top and bottom for B.
Where do you have more dots in that problem?
Yes, right, B on top, and then how many more?
Seven.
Bottom. Wait.
4. Yeah, so then you have B to 4. B to 4 over 8 to 6. The next one's hard.
How many more?
And then go look at problem number 5 again. And then
You have 8 of them on the bottom. How many more?
Yes.
Here we go. Work that. And one. That hit it. Backward. Oh! Oh my God! Quit. 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 You're teaching the class.
Hell yeah. Hi, Luke. I don't know who else is in this class, but
Huh?
Put your phones away. I'm getting
ASMR.
Who's talking to me? Yo, I swear someone just said my name.
Get like the
Go back on the view.
Said my bruh, what? Someone say my name?
No, I was gonna offer.
It's definitely the hardest one on here because you got the most one on.
Luke,
And so when things are kind of
Yeah?
what's XQC streaming?
Okay.
What's his Reddit page saying?
Okay, you're a loser.
30 seconds, I could say. You gotta take your old. So what I'm gonna do with something like 8 is I'm gonna say, all right, I'm gonna rewrite everything. And if it has a negative exponent, I'm gonna move it. If it doesn't have a negative exponent, I'm gonna keep it exactly where it is. Yeah. So the 2's good. And the 5's good. Numbers first, then all my X's and all my Y's and all my Z's. I'm just going alphabet. X's are good, right? X to the 4th is good, X squared. What about that y to the negative third on top? Is that good? No. That means I got to move it to the bottom and make it positive. Now, there's already like a y to the fifth on the bottom, so now they're just next to each other. Now z's. Z on top's no good. Z on bottom's no good. So they both move. Now I've got a z to the eighth on top and a z to the fifth. Now I put them together. So I like that in between step because then I can just take, like, in my mind, the negative is gone, and I'll just deal with it however. All right, one more minute. Good time to write that one down.
Can I upload a picture?
Absolutely. If you feel good about what you've got, you can put it on Canvas now, or you can wait, and in 5 minutes when all the answers are up, and you make corrections or check stuff off to say, yeah, I got it right, then you can put it on. We're going to check it. Yeah, we're going to check all 10. Make sure you got the right answer. But correctness is not necessary to get full credit. Completion is. I got to see all 10 problems and all 10 answers. And so maybe you're sitting there waiting for me to put all 10 answers up, and then you're going to quickly write them down and put them on Canvas. You'll get a 5 out of 5 as long as you do it today, but good luck to you next week if you have no idea what you're doing. Is there a test next week? We'll have a quiz for completion and effort at the beginning of the week, and then a correctness one a day or two. Probably 2 days later, I'll take a day to kind of go over it. You guys can correct your work and make sure you're feeling pretty good. Yeah. I don't have tentative dates on that yet because I just don't know how tomorrow is going to go. My guess is it'll be Tuesday, Thursday. Take Monday, wrap stuff up. Tuesday for completion and effort. Wednesday, check it, see how we did. Kind of an easy Wednesday, and then one on Thursday. All right, cool. 1:45, so that gives me 15 minutes because I want to check these and have a conversation about a couple things that are coming up. But I want to hear from you guys and see what you got, and then that'll kind of build up some confidence in those of us that feel pretty good about whichever one they're willing to share. So does anybody feel pretty good about number one and want to tell us what they got? Mr. Anderson. 8 to the power 12. 8 to the power 12 looks good to me. Box it up so we know you're done. I know it's only like one step, so it's pretty easy to tell what my answer is. It's just the next thing written down. But always good to box up those answers. All right, somebody else. Number 2. Emma.
I got
If there's any time to be wrong and be okay with it, now is that time. So don't feel bad if you get something wrong. It's actually going to help you get better. So now is the time to take a chance for sure. What about 3? Yeah, Ken.
I got C squared.
Good. No fraction, right? And that's okay because you have more on top. So the fraction kind of disappears when you've got more whatever it is. In this case, C's on top. Good. As you go, if you're getting them right, put a check mark next to it so you know you got it right. Because next week, if you decide to use this to help you do well on the quiz, it would be nice to know, look, I did this work, I got it right, and now I can kind of like find problems that look similar and apply the same methods. All right, what about number 4? 4 is where things get a little bit tricky.
3 over 2c squared.
3 over 2c squared. Okay. Right, more c's on the bottom, so that's where it ends up. But the 3 and the 2, they're just numbers, right? Properties of exponents apply to exponents. Number 5. Go ahead, Emma.
1 over 5.
Here's the only problem with that answer. This 5 and the x that's next to it are kind of separated by the multiplication. And so the only thing that's being raised to the negative power is the x. So in fact, it's just the x, and maybe this will help. It's just the x that moves down to the bottom. The 5 is actually going to end up staying on top. So make that change on your paper so we can make sure that we fix that issue next time in case this comes up. But I think what I wrote down there in red right here might help you avoid that mistake in the future. Like putting the dots in between will help you visually separate things in your mind, especially when we get to like here, like Q, X, Y, Z. Like these are all separate, so you can kind of think of them separately. Does that make sense? Is that good? I'm gonna give myself a little extra space. Awesome. All right. What about 6? Let's get some new blood. Second half is a little tricky. But I walked around. I saw some good answers. If you're feeling all right with it, let's take a shot. Go ahead, Tate.
Okay, 81
Nice.
A, the power of 8,
Uh-huh.
and then 2 to the power of 12,
Good.
and 3 to the power of 4.
Perfect. Right? The 3 gets raised to the 4th power. But that's not, the 3 is not an exponent, it's just a number. So I just have to do 3 to the 4th, which is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is 81. As those exponents get bigger, as those bases that are numbers get pretty big, you definitely want to rely on the calculator to help you work through that. If you're not great with raising numbers and powers. Numbers get really big really quickly with exponents. Nice, good. All right, 7. Brendan, what we got?
We got B to the power of 4
Okay.
over A to the power of 2.
Perfect. More B's on top, so we got B's on top. 4 more, 6 more A's on bottom there. Perfect. Nicely done. All right. Did anybody do 8 in just one step? Good. I think it's better to try to do it in 2. So let's talk about that first one. Jared, I saw your hand. Go ahead. Give us that first step. Or you can give us the answer first if you want. Let's go.
Okay, yeah, so the answer
Yeah.
is 2x squared. On the top, you have one on B to the 8 also on the top.
Okay.
Then on the bottom, I got 5. Then y to the 8. Then b to the 6.
So if you've got more than one z though, let's put those together also. So forget about everything else. Z to the 8th on top, z to the 5th on bottom. What should we do? Okay, and so 8 minus 5 is 3. So where does that go? On top, z to the 3rd on top or z to the 3rd on bottom? Yeah, because there's more of them up there. Good. So fix that answer. Get rid of that z on bottom, and let's put just z to the 3rd on top. So it's good. Remember what we're looking for. Simplest version. One variable of each kind with one exponent. So if you see you still have a couple x's left over, put them together. A couple z's in this case left over, put them together. But what was that step in between that kind of helped everybody get there? Or at least what's your mindset on how to deal with a problem that's kind of complicated like 8? Go ahead, Jim.
I got, so I drew the negative. I went the negative.
Cool. So 2 is good, 5 is good, x's are good.
So y to the negative 3, and put on the bottom.
Cool. Cool.
Then, both of these are equal.
Nice. There you go. So that's a good in-between step. I like that. Awesome. All right, last 2. What's x to the 0?
So no, it's 1.
Anything to the 0 power 1. All right, that's what we looked at a couple days ago. I know we didn't practice that yesterday, but if you look back at property number 5 from 2 days ago, I think it was, we looked at like x to the 3rd over x to the 3rd and x squared over x squared. And what we saw was that, all right, it's like that exponent, simple being 0, but anything divided by itself is 1. So anything to the 0 power is 1. So what's anything to the 0 power? Anything to the 0 power is 1. So circle that, box up. 1. 9 and 10 are both just 1. Like variables, numbers, all of them are gone. The only thing I have left is 1. you haven't put it on Canvas, now's the time to do it. I'll leave this up here for a second in case you're jotting down some corrections, or maybe the stuff that you just couldn't figure out on your own. And then we're good with math for today, so you can start to kind of get yourself packed up. But I have a couple things that I just want to talk about, make sure you're aware of. Some things math related, some things not. But I kind of have to talk a little bit faster than I wanted, but I wanted to give you time to work. So I'm glad we had some time to do that. So I'll leave this up here for a second, but nothing else you have to do for me algebra-wise, but there is some stuff coming up because it's the end of the year that I just want to make sure you're aware of, and do with the information what you need to do what you want. Okay, so I'm going to erase this so I can pull up some stuff. All right. In no particular order, necessarily. Tomorrow, just in case, I forget if I said this or not, but tomorrow's late start Friday. Okay, teacher work time in the morning. So our class actually doesn't start until 1:30 tomorrow. Okay, so kind of keep an eye on that. If you need to take a picture of that so you know where you need to be, especially if you plan on like leaving campus for lunch or like coming in because you have first period off or whatever the case. Like I'm gonna head off for third and come back for fourth. Just know when you need to be, where you need to be. First period starts at 9. Every class is 40 minutes, 5 minutes in between. That gets us to the right spot. Okay, so we're getting going at 1:30 tomorrow. That's that. Okay. The first of many late start Fridays here the rest of the way. In terms of what the rest of the year kind of looks like, so here we are, kind of second to last week in March. Next week, another full week. Week after that, another full week. But that's this week right here, the first full week in April. That is, where is it? That's Wish Week. Okay. Not going to be quite the level of Wish Week that we're used to with like opening and closing assemblies and stuff like that, because we still can't have that many people together. But still some stuff that you can do to participate. Ways to kind of like dress up every week. Every day that week, and places to go and things to do, movies and dodgeball, deck of barbecue, talent show, parade, especially the parade. That's something I hope that we can all kind of go to. It's just going to be in the parking lot, the student parking lot, and like Zoe is our wish kid. Her and her family is just going to kind of chill out, and we're going to parade around her. It should be a lot of fun. So she doesn't have a wish yet because with COVID stuff, she doesn't know what she can do. But the theme is Harry Potter because that's something she really likes. So I don't know what illness she has. I don't know much about her. It's not necessarily discounts. It's that portions of the proceeds will go to fund Zoe's wish, along with many others. I know in the past we've been able to pay for like our wish kids' wish, and then like half a dozen other ones. Like we've raised in the past more than $40,000. For kids, which is awesome. I think this year the goal is 8,000. Yeah. We don't know. She doesn't have one yet because of COVID. So we don't know, like, can she go to like Disney World because they have like a whole Harry Potter part of that. I think that's probably one that she might consider, but I think they're gonna wait, especially with her being sick in whatever way she is, trying to stay out of harm's way. So I'll talk about this more as we get closer to it so you can see that. But there is something that I definitely want to make sure that you know what's going on. It's the week after. Okay? This week right here, the week of the 12th, is testing week. State mandated tests. Okay? Now, this is tentative. Things are still a little bit up in the air, but plan for this, depending on what grade you're in. Seniors, you have nothing you have to do this week. Basically, besides coming to your classes in the afternoon. Okay? Juniors, you have 2 tests to take this week. CMAS on Monday, which is science. Okay? SAT on Tuesday. You are automatically registered for them. You're automatically signed up. Okay? They start at 7:40. They take as long as they take. Probably not as long as the time that's there, but that includes anybody that has maybe time and a half or double time to take tests, part of an IEP or 504. but I want to make sure that you know that these things are happening. Okay, you have to get to school not just on time but early. Anybody has pulled up to that light this week at like 7:30, you know how long it takes you to get in the parking lot. It took me 4 lights to get in this morning. 4 lights it took me to get through. Okay, it takes a while. Okay, your afternoons, you'll have 2 classes in the afternoon, fully remote. You are not coming to school in the afternoons at all for those classes. You come to school on the days you have tests. You don't if you don't. If you are not a junior, you do not come to school at all Monday or Tuesday. Okay? If you're a sophomore, you'll be here on Wednesday for the PSAT. We don't have any freshmen in this class, so I don't have to worry about this. Okay, so juniors, you're only in school Monday and Tuesday morning. That's it. Then you go home. There's no lunch offered on any day. Okay? Buses run regular schedule, getting you here for 7:40 and picking you up at 3. Find another way home on that week. Okay, if you can. Because when you're done with your test, if you're here, you're a junior Monday and Tuesday, if you're a sophomore on Wednesday, go home after your test and stay there. Okay? We will log in Thursday, this class for me. We'll be on our Google Meet as if we were remote. Questions? You are not here at all Wednesday and Thursday if you're a junior. Okay, you have nothing to do in the mornings. You just have period 5 and 6, which one of those is going to be lunch. So you'll have 1 class on that day, 7th and 8th on Thursday. Okay. You should probably tell the administration now, so that they can schedule you for something else. Okay. Here's the other thing with our last couple seconds. Seniors, ignore me. Everybody else, if you are signed up for a math class next year, and that math class is an ACC class, high school college algebra, or college algebra, college trig, college algebra, intro stats, you have an email waiting for you. You have to sign up through ACC by tomorrow, or you get dropped from the class, and you have to take something else. You're good. Nope. There's only 2 classes, the ACC college algebra, the high school college algebra one, or the college algebra, college trig.
What would that email look like?
It would be super obvious, I think.
Um,
Pretty easy.
There it is. No reply _IC Ponderosa ACC
Oh, I see it.
application deadline. It got sent out March 23rd.
It's on Friday,
Yeah.
right?
Wait, so how do you do it?
What if you already have an
Follow the
account?
instructions on the PDF.
Because I have an account through the business classes
Right.
that I took.
You still have to register, but you probably already have like your profile and stuff already set up. So it's probably even easier for you if you've done it before.
Like, just by knowing how I work now, do you think I'd be able to get an A in college algebra?
So I don't know that class yet because it's ACC's class. What I'll tell you is that it's a step up from this class, but at the same pace. We take our time for sure. Really, it's probably going to be at most 4 chapters the whole year long. Kind of like what we're doing, like we're on chapter 4 right now, but really 5 chapters, right? Because we did that chapter 0 with equations at the beginning. So I don't even know if it's going to be faster necessarily. It's like algebra 3. Like we're going to take all the stuff that we've learned and we're going to kind of like keep going.
Are you going to be teaching that?
No, I teach the harder one. I teach college algebra, college trig, which would be
You're not
that'd be
taking
too
that one?
fast. It'd be too fast. That one would be hard.
So you're not teaching college algebra?
So there's 2 levels. There's high school college
That's what I
algebra, which is a year-long college algebra, which is the one you should have. That's the correct class for I think both of you, right?
And you're not teaching that
I'm
one?
not.
Oh my!
You knew that.
I'm gonna fail.
You knew that.
I'm gonna fail.
No, just come to me.
I wanted you to be my teacher for senior year.
I wish, man. I wish.
She said yes.
Okay, good. Let's do it. Unit circle stuff,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm around. Let's do it. Let me turn this recording off. I'm still recording.
See, this is the unit circle I want to have on my test.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?